Hello, people of Sabah and Sarawak. I have the most important idea that sprung to mind. The reason why you should vote Pakatan into government. For all these years of independence, UMNO has imposed on you the national language Bahasa Malaysia. Well, although it is stated in the Constitution that Bahasa Malaysia shall be the national language, but with due respect to the Malay people, Bahasa Malaysia is not a language of learning. It is not a language of science and mathematics. It is not a language that is capable of acquiring deep knowledge into important scientific matters. So, for example, if you want to build an aeroplane, if you want to build a jet fighter in Malaysia, can you do it? Can you go to your library and pull out a book written in Bahasa Malaysia that tells you how to build a jet fighter aeroplane? Well, you can do that with Chinese, you can do that with Japanese, you can do that with Russian, you can do that with German, you can do that with French, you can do that with English. But some languages are not languages of science, mathematics, and a vehicle to acquire deep knowledge. There are some languages that are important in that they are essential languages to acquire knowledge. And English is among one of the foremost languages that is required to acquire knowledge. Well, people of Sabah and Sarawak, there was one thing which your past colonial masters gave you, which today, as a matter of fact, people of Sabah and Sarawak speak and write better English than people, the Malays in Peninsular Malaysia. So, this is the idea which I believe you should adopt. And to adopt my idea, you need to vote and to return a government that is formed by PakatanRakyat. And this is the idea that I have. Although it is stated that Malay is the national language, but I don't know whether or not there is a requirement that Malaysia shall impose a national language on all the states, because every one of the states, as I've stated in my earlier video clip, are autonomous. If you return to the original provisions of the Constitution and Federation of Malaysia Act, is there a provision that the states will have to adopt a national language consistent with the requirements passed by the federal government? I'm not so sure about that, you know. But however, even if there is such a provision, which I believe there isn't, even if there is a provision that requires the states to implement a compulsory national language being Bahasa Malaysia, my idea is this: schools in Sabah and Sarawak, make it compulsory that they learn a second language, being English, and devote more time to the study of English than to the study of Bahasa. In what way can you give the semblance of implementing national language, in that in the subject of science, mathematics, and the more important fields of knowledge, like physics and engineering and all that sort of thing, make it the study of these subjects, make it compulsory that it is to be studied and to be written in English. That way you can retain and improve on your already competent use of English language. I sincerely believe that the people of Sarawak and Sabah have a better grasp, are more fluent in English than Peninsular Malays do. For that matter, you can also, when you have joined with PakatanRakyat to take government, if it is compulsory, you can also negotiate as one of the topics that you would like to have on your negotiating table, that you are free to adopt this use of English language in your schools. That is the most important reason, because Malaysia, having Bahasa Malaysia as a national language, and the education policy as it stands today, Malaysia won't go very far. There is no depth of knowledge. As I said earlier, if you want to build an aeroplane, if you want to build a ship, I mean an ocean-going ship, can you do it with Bahasa Malaysia? I don't think you can. Not only I don't think, I know you can't, because there are no books written in Bahasa Malaysia on these subjects. Can you be competent in the graphs of English common law, which is the law of the land in Malaysia? You can't as well, because right now the lawyers in Peninsular Malaysia, the Malay lawyers, they are just, you know, slapdash, make do kind of lawyers. Even the judges do not know the law, as I can prove anytime if I'm given the opportunity to prove. And I will do that. As soon as PakatanRakyat gets into government, I will make an appointment to see the new Attorney General of the Pakatan government, and tell him that I have these 4 Court of Appeal judges who broke the law, who breached the penal code, and mandates prosecution that calls for imprisonment as means of castration. Well, people in Sabah and Sarawak believe this. English is the language for you. Even China now, they are devoting a lot of time to improve the standard of English of the intellectuals in China, so that they can progress faster than they have. Hitherto, they have been using Russian as the second language. But even that, Russian, although it is a language of science and mathematics, it is still not as good or as efficient as a language for the acquiring of knowledge in place of English. Therefore, the Chinese government, they know that it is time that they improve the level of English in the country. Well, if China can do it, Malaysia too will have to do it. Well, I think this is a very important subject, which I will leave it at this stage because it's important. I don't want it to be diluted with other consideration. So people of Sabah and Sarawak, vote in PakatanRakyat. Vote in PakatanRakyat so that you will be able to retain and improve the level of English that is taught in Sabah and Sarawak. You will leave Peninsular Malays way behind if you adopt my suggestion. Thank you. Good night.